All right, Buck, we are back with the second half here, and we got a show from our old stomping grounds. This is coming from PennLive.com. Would-be Pennsylvania bank robber chickens out, runs out before teller opens cash drawer. Is it still a bank robbery if the would-be bank robber turns and runs before the teller hands over the cash? I don't know. I mean,
Wait. Have we ever met this man?
let's find out. Turns out the bank
Oh,
robbery suspect who in Pennsylvania who police in northern PA say chickened out and ran before the teller opened the cash drawer is still in plenty of trouble if and when they catch him. As the Citizen's Voice reports, the would-be robber wearing a face mask and a hoodie entered the M&T Bank in Luzerne County shortly after 11 a.m. Monday. Police say the suspect told the teller he was armed with a weapon and demanded cash. Yet the robber didn't wait around for his money. No. For whatever reason, police say the robber lost his nerve and chickened out, dashing from the bank in Hanover Township and running down the street. All this before the bank teller could even open the cash drawer. Now, Hanover Township police are trying to identify the man behind the botched robbery. The Citizen's Voice report added the would-be robber was last seen running north toward the CVS pharmacy. Anyone with information is asked to call the police department.
I was really hoping that they were gonna say his name and that it started with a D. Oh man.
D. Who's
Oh,
that?
well, I'll just go ahead. Dalton Greenlee.
Holden Green. I remember him, but I don't remember why I remember him.
Oh, he tried to rob a bank with a penknife, and they told him that they were out of money,
Oh,
and he
right.
waited, and he waited outside of the bank until the police got there,
I remember
and then
him.
he had to go into PC the entire time he was in. Yeah. Uh huh.
We're out of
Yeah,
money.
I thought, and like when you said we're out of money, I was like, don't tell me it's him. Don't tell me it's him. This man did not get a new career after that. But no, it wasn't. So I digress. This guy, I'm going to start off with the fact that he gets a. I have a hard time giving him a 3. I want 2, but I'm not gonna. I'm going to give him a 2. I'm going to give him a 2. Like this guy, he's obviously seen too many movies, and that was the other dude's problem too. Just he's seen too many movies. He got to the moment of truth, and he's like, all right. And then Jiminy Cricket came out, and it was like,
Oh
you
no.
like, if you're not gonna get out of this, like you probably won't. But if you actually don't do anything else, you can probably get easy. And so dude's like, all right, and just does a 180. He's like, bam. I just moment of clairvoyance. He's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I hope that's how it went.
Well,
Because this dude's obviously seen too many movies.
unfortunately for him, if he is caught, it is still he still will be charged with bank robbery.
Oh, yes, he will be.
Absolutely, he will be. I remember an instance. Hell, I think I was in high school. There was an individual who pulled up to a bank window. They had been out paintball shooting that day, so they were dressed, in their paintball gear still. And his girlfriend was working at the window at the drive-through of the bank, right? And he pulled up his paintball gun and said, "This is a robbery," did his transaction and left. But somebody else in the bank had already called the police, and he was charged with bank robbery. Just for
You know
even
what? I
saying
mean,
this is a robbery and hold up a paintball gun.
it's one of those moments where you got to be like, fuck around and find out.
Same concept for the
That's
individual I went to high school with who got arrested for large quantity of marijuana that he was supposedly selling. Unfortunately, it wasn't marijuana; it was oregano and grass clippings that he ground up after drying and tried to pass off as marijuana. But he knew it was fake and was still selling it as marijuana. So, and the way the law works is that even if you were selling an analog and claiming that it is a drug, it's treated as that drug. And he had a huge bag of it.
I'll tell you what, he's lucky that the police got him before somebody who got pissed off about buying bonk fucking drugs did.
That's true too.
Man, oh boy, that kid was playing with a freaking firecracker that could have exploded in the, oh man. But either way, So yeah, dipshit here gets a 2.
Yeah, I'll co-sign
I
that.
just, and we're not even going to give him any more airtime. Let's move on to our final event, I think.
This comes from people.com. Man found in OnlyFans model attic, allegedly hid there, came out at night to film her sleeping. I mean, god damn. We hear about these every couple of years when this happens. Investigators said that a 20-year-old Marcuccio Damon Guerrero took video of the woman's private areas while she slept, and they found a tracking device he allegedly planned to put on her car. A 20-year-old man has been accused of allegedly hiding in the attic of a woman he met online through the adult website OnlyFans, according to authorities in New Hampshire. In the early morning hours of February 9th, the Somerset Police Department responded to a report of someone hearing another person in their residence. Officers on scene located a male suspect on the roof of the residence. After an on-scene investigation, the male was taken into custody for charges of burglary. The investigation was furthered, and information was obtained that the suspect was known to the victim from the online social media service. It was also determined that the suspect drove to New Hampshire from Pennsylvania and was temporarily staying at an Airbnb in Portsmouth. The news release continued. It was determined that the suspect entered the home with the intent to commit theft and invasion of privacy. The man, who was identified by police as Mercutio Damien Guerrero, is charged with 4 counts of burglary, according to the release. People has reached out to the Somerset Police Department for additional comment. Calls from the police department after finding... that's a different story, sorry. Investigators say that Damon Guerrero broke into the home multiple times and took videos of the woman's private areas while she slept, and that they found a tracking device that he admitted he wanted to tape to the victim's car. The woman also told police that the suspect appeared to have been in the attic for a period of time, as she allegedly found food, a cup of urine, and a pair of headphones. She gave him her address because he wanted to buy her a TV and a fireplace. She never really wanted to meet him, but he was very pushy, and eventually she was walking to her car and noticed a car pulling over close to her. She saw him ducking and hiding inside the car. Damon Guerrero admitted to the officers that he had been breaking into the Somerset residence, which is allegedly the woman's mother's home. He had broken into her Dover, New Hampshire apartment multiple times as well. He was released with pretty strict bail conditions, according to the sheriff. This is an ongoing concern of ours, the safety of the victim during the pendency of her case. So this is why we ask him to be held for pending trial. Damon Guerrero was released on $2,500 cash bail and is required to wear a GPS tracking bracelet. He's also been ordered not to enter the state of New Hampshire. Jesus Christ. And he is to have no contact with the woman. Holy shit. Don't come into the state of New Hampshire.
That's strong.
I have never seen bail conditions like that before.
I've like the
But
only
what doesn't make
person
sense is typically when somebody's on charges, you don't want them to leave the state. You want to keep them where they're at. So the fact that
that's what
they want that we're gonna let you go back to Pennsylvania as long as you fucking stay there.
Yeah, the only time I've ever heard of a person that I can recall being banned from a fucking state for any reason was Ozzy Osbourne for pissing on the Alamo. Like honestly, I don't recall, like, and I'm sure it's happened before. It's never been in the news that I've seen, but I've never seen it where somebody has actually been banned from a fucking state. And by the way, what an appropriate thing to do for such a goddarn creep. This guy is just an animal.
I mean, however you want to view pornography, which that's what OnlyFans is. Let's call a spade a spade. She was doing cam shows probably. I can't see of any other thing that you could possibly get someone that obsessed with you for on OnlyFans. Let's just call it, But regardless what your view is on there, this is still reprehensible, even by those people's standards. Even by the people who think that pornography is reprehensible, which is not, you still have to find this reprehensible.
Yeah. I mean, there are just so many things that are fucked up about this, man. Cup of urine. Like, this guy's camping out. He's like making like a home above this woman's bedroom and then filming her while she sleeps. Talk about an invasion. You know, this guy is a 4 all day long. I mean, that's just it.
Well,
But
typically
you know,
these kinds of things, when people commit these type of crimes, they typically tend to escalate as well.
mm-hmm.
I mean, this is quite easily could have turned into a sexual assault or even like a homicide at some point. Not saying that it necessarily is something that was going to happen. Just saying, typically these types of criminals will escalate as they continue. As the longer they get away with something, the more the crimes tend to escalate. So this is a very dangerous situation that occurred, and the fact that he was able to go undetected for so long is even scarier when you stop and think about the whole totality of the situation.
Well, I mean, think about it just from what we read in the article. You know, it already you're describing escalation to that it could escalate, but it started somewhere and already did escalate to that. Like it's already on that upswing. It starts by stalking. It starts by demanding the address. Then it starts by getting there. Then it starts by looking the place,
And
encasing the place,
can we just
and then
point
you're
out that
breaking. Then you're breaking in.
giving somebody your address?
No way. That's a big red flag. No, no, no. That was a bad move.
Chicky,
But
you're kind of an idiot. We're gonna call a spade when I see it. Don't ever give anybody your address on the internet.
you know, I have to Uncle Ben you here, sweetie. With great power, being the internet, comes great responsibility. You know, like, mm, you gotta.
Not
And
victim. We're not blaming the victim here. We're not
No,
blaming
no,
the
no, no,
victim.
no. And that's that. I'm just falling.
This is more of a PSA.
Yeah, that's sage words of advice. No more, no less. You didn't do anything wrong. You just could have done something more right. I guess is the best way of putting it because, giving out your address was not wise. It
Not,
just wasn't. But regardless of whether you give it out or not, nobody should abuse that. That should not have happened, regardless of the circumstances. I'm going to put that out there. Like this is wrong on his end. He should not have behaved this way, and that's just outright terrible.
it indeed is.
So
But that also, well, we got to rate this.
I 4 all day long, man.
4 all day
4 all
long.
day long.
All day long. All day long. That being said, folks, that brings us to an end of another episode of the Social Liability Podcast. We do ask that you subscribe to the podcast, perhaps leave a comment, give us a rating, anything, any kind of interaction with us outside of just listening. Truly does help the show, and it helps get the word out there and tell a friend. That being said, folks, I'm the Raspberries with my co-host, the Buck, wishing you a happy week, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Social Liability Podcast.